Hi, I'm Terrance Browning.
And I'm Crystal Wilcox.
We're both environmental students at Georgian College, and we have created this video to show the impacts of zebra mussels and the effects they have within the Great Lakes. Growing up on Lake St. Clair, I've experienced zebra mussels firsthand, catching them on my fishing line as far back as 1995. According to an article published by nationalatlas.gov, zebra mussels first appeared in North America in Lake St. Clair in 1988. This small body of water is a connecting lake between Lake Huron and Lake Erie. It is believed by biologists that the zebra mussels were picked up in a freshwater European port. The ships from this port dumped ballast water into Lake St. Clair. This was never considered to be an issue before invasive species arrived.
Zebra mussels have very distinctive features, ranging in color from white to yellow to black. The name zebra mussel originates from their obvious zigzag pattern on their shells. The population of zebra mussels are very dense. This is mostly due to high nutrient content within that area. In an article published by the Wall Street Journal in 2011, they stated the Great Lakes fish populations are greatly depleted by ravenous mussels and excessive nutrient content runoff, creating algae blooms. Foreign mussels account for 94% drop in freshwater shrimp populations, which is a base species in the food chain. This will directly affect whitefish and other native species. Here's a video showing you how native clams are affected.
So right now we're processing the samples that were taken from the Solange Canal. We have about a 12-year data set, so we're documenting the change in the mussel composition in that area. There used to be a high abundance of native mussels, and now oftentimes what you'll see is just a whole bunch of empty native mussel shells littering the bottom where they once used to be. So with the native mussels sitting in the sediment from here, we have an exposed hard substrate to which zebra mussels and quagga mussels can attach themselves onto the hard substrate of the native mussels. The problem with this is that you get enough zebra and quagga mussels attached to the native mussel, therefore suturing the two valves together. This mussel can no longer filter feed, and sometimes even due to the sheer weight of the other exotic mussels on it, topples into the substrate and can no longer feed, and thus it dies.
Zebra mussels have a major impact on the environment within the Great Lakes. With information provided by seagrant.edu, it is stated that some facilities use the raw water from the Great Lakes as their intake system. The potential threat of having zebra mussels attach themselves to the intake pipes, wells, and screening systems is a definite problem. These pests have the potential to clog the pipes completely and possess the risk of damaging vital components to the facility. This very situation took place in the Monroe Waterworks plant. The city of Monroe is on Lake Erie, where 24,000 residents sustained multiple water outages during 1989 to 1991, with an estimated cost of the infestation during that time of $300,950.
Depending on where zebra mussels end up attaching themselves may affect which species decide to inhabit that environment. Positive and negative scenarios are associated with this habit. A study done in a text called Freshwater Biology, it was concluded that zebra mussels are abundant in areas where there is silt, sand, and other soft substrates. In the lab, they concluded hexagenia, which is a native mayfly and also an important food source of fish, were altering their habitat in preference to an area with high abundance of zebra mussels. In this situation, the result was beneficial to the hexagenia, but was not beneficial to any species preying on the hexagenia.
On my trips to Lake Erie and Lake St. Clair, it was duly noted by me along with other local anglers that the fish population was beginning to feast upon this invasive species. It was as though the zebra mussels were not the only ones adapting to their environment. Although it seems like a good idea that the fish are beginning to eat these zebra mussels, it must be kept into consideration that zebra mussels are cleaning the environment of chemicals. Zebra mussels are also known to be a host for botulism. According to a podcast posted by the University of Michigan, this trophic cascade is affecting every level of the food web. Parameters state while sampling for diatoms in the Great Lakes, samples should come up brown filled with diatoms. Recent statistics show that samples have been coming up crystal clear. Diatoms are a keystone species in the Great Lakes, and this is going to have an effect on every level of the food chain.
Zebra mussels don't always appear to have a negative effect within the Great Lakes. For example, the physical clarity of water appears to be cleaner, which according to issg.org is caused from a reduced phytoplankton population. In an article published by D. Speranzi, it states that zebra mussels take down phosphorus and release it as soluble, which also results in an increased vegetation amount along the shoreline. Low turbidity allows sunlight to penetrate deeper, which also allows for more plant growth. These are examples of short-term, noticeably beneficial situations, but of course zebra mussels don't have any beneficial situations, and any short-term beneficial situations are heavily outweighed by all of the negative impacts that zebra mussels have within the Great Lakes.
Many methods have been created in an attempt to eliminate and to stop the invasion of the zebra mussel. So why haven't we implemented them today to avoid scenes like this? Methods to eliminate the population usually involves chemicals. An article published in Aquatic Toxicology from ScienceDirect.com concluded that derivatives from potassium in low concentrations can kill zebra mussels without affecting other species. But most molluscides on the market today chemically alter the environment toxically. We do not want to damage our environment further or harm ourselves in the process.
In conclusion, further research shows that zebra mussels are definitely affecting Great Lakes and their regions. The increased volume of zebra mussels is due to the release of ballast water into the Great Lakes in combination with no natural predators. Populations of zebra mussels are growing rapidly in large, dense colonies. The populations are affecting native species in numerous ways. Zebra mussels filter water, resulting in clarity and low turbidity. This promotes the growth of vegetation in deeper waters. Zebra mussels damage facilities' intake water systems, which affects areas economically. Zebra mussels are changing the natural chemistry of water overall and declining the native food chain. More research must be done in order to eliminate this invasive species from continuing its downward spiral before we can't recover. Thank you very much everybody for listening to our video, and I hope you've enjoyed it.